Now take a look at this board and tell me you don't want to play this deck. I got all this by just doing the tutorial and using all my free gems. Alright, let's fuck him up. Alright, let me ask you guys a question. Do you enjoy losing? Better yet, do you enjoy losing to decks built by sweaty motherfuckers that took a second mortgage out on their houses to build? If you had answered anything other than yes, I got something for you. It's called Drytrons, and they're fucking awesome. And the best part is, you don't have to spend a dime on this game to build a functional and effective Drytron deck. And I'm gonna show you how. Let's get into it. Okay, step 1. Find or create a deck list and stick to it. I went on duelmastersmeta.com, also played a few games online, and from my experience, and just from looking at everything that was already posted on here, I like this deck a lot. Hell, it's a winning deck. It got first place in an anytime tournament in season 1. So that's how you know it's good. I will provide a link in the description to this exact deck if you want to check it out. And feel free to follow Muck. He made a banger of a deck. Now, as you can see up here, this deck is actually pretty expensive to make. But you know what? There's nothing wrong with that. Because of all these little tips and tricks I picked up when I started the game, I'm going to try to get as close as I possibly can to making this deck as faithfully as I can, or at least functionally. Now, I wouldn't be making a one-to-one copy. It'd be kind of dumb not to because this is a winning deck, but I know how I like to play Yu-Gi-Oh! And I do know the meta changes, so changes will be necessary as you go on to build the deck. And if you want to know about what I would change, you're going to have to find out later on in the video. By the way, I'm going to split up this video into different sections, so if you feel like you want to learn in a different order, go for it. So after finishing the tutorial, which took maybe like 10 minutes, I had around 8,400 gems, and I decided the best place to start would be by crafting one of the super rare cards in the Drytron deck and try to pull packs from there. So the first card I decided to craft was Drytron Alpha because it is a super rare and it would unlock the pack where we could start pulling our Drytron monsters. Now, something about this game that I need you to remember for what we're going to do later on, for the very first time you ever unlock a secret pack through crafting, you get one free pull. Again, the very first time you ever get a secret pack through crafting a card from there, you get a free pull. It's gonna be very important. So the first packs I decided to open would actually be the bundle deals that you could find in the special section of the store. These deals are really fucking good. One of the best cards in the game are here, and that would be Ash Blossom and Joyous Spring. This is a hand trap that pretty much stops most important things in the game, and I recommend it in literally every single deck. If there's anything you're going to learn about this game, it's that it's important to have the staple. And the two most important staples, in my opinion, that you must have in every deck if you want a chance at winning will be Ash Blossom and Called by the Grave. So we're actually going to pull all these bundle deals because they're all actually really good cards, and it comes with a bunch of packs, so why not? More importantly, we need as much ultra rares as we possibly can because we need to disenchant them to get more ultra rare card points. If you want a specific ultra rare monster, it's going to take disenchanting 3 ultra rare cards. So the more, the merrier. After I pulled those back, I go straight to pulling the Drytron cards. So the goal here is to get as much of the Drytron monsters as we can. We don't get all of them from the packs, but we do get most of them, and that's what matters. So I'm trying to be really stingy with my gems, trying to make sure I don't spend more than I need because I do have to buy plenty of packs for different archetypes. This is like, what, 3 archetypes in one deck? So it's important that I'm smart with my spending. If I'm missing some monsters from the archetype, like maybe 1 or something, that's fine. I'm down to craft it anyway. So after pulling those couple of packs, I still need a few cards actually. I need my Mubeta Fafnir, I need my Alpha, I need a Zeta, etc, etc. But we'll get to that because I also just want to get as much as secret packs as I possibly can at the moment, just so I can keep pulling for the cards I need in the deck. So now I craft Herald of Perfection so I can start pulling the Herald cards I will need for this deck because they are extremely important. They're pretty much the backbone of this deck. Alright, so I'm going to go ahead and craft Ben 10 so I can get the Ben 10 pack and, you know, just get a free pull out of it. There's nothing wrong with that. I believe I didn't end up pulling from the pack itself, like spending gems on it, because I only really needed 2 more copies of Ben 10, and it's a super rare, so it's not really a problem. I could just disenchant a bunch of super rare cards that I had. So at this point, I'm going to start disenchanting all the ultra rares and super rares I don't need because I need as many card points as I possibly can. But as you can see, I don't really have a lot of ultra rares to help build the deck. But that's fine because you know what we do have? We do have a fuck ton of super rares we can disenchant. But wait a minute, you might say, super rare points don't transfer to ultra rare points. And you're right, but there's a workaround for that. There is this Reddit post made by, I can't remember his name, but he's a YouTuber, really good one at that. Go ahead and follow him. I'm gonna link his video down in the description of the series he's doing where he came up with this, as well as the link over to his Reddit post that tells you the exact super rare cards you want to enchant, because as you remember, as I said earlier, the very first time that you enchant a super rare of a particular pack, you get those packs and you get free pulls. So he picked all these super rares that pulled several different packs. And I think it equals to like 22 free packs. I also had like maybe 2 other packs I didn't open yet up until this point. So for me, it was 24 free packs. And that is a lot of cards. So while I still have the opportunity, I'm going to be pulling more of the Drytron cards and more of the Herald cards, you know, just to see if I need to enchant anything. And it seems we're getting pretty lucky with these pulls. I'm getting a lot of the ultra rares that I was looking for. There's a Herald of Ultimateness, I think that's what it's called. I wasn't really going to use that card because I prefer Herald of Perfection, but it's good that I pulled it, because in the future, if I ever want to use it, I have it. And now we're gonna pull some cards. A lot of them at that. Okay, I believe I pulled 6 ultra rares from all those packs, so that's gonna give us 2 more guaranteed ultra rares. So it's gonna give me like 8 ultra rares that I can craft now, and clearly that doesn't add up to the amount we're missing. So we're gonna have to make some sacrifices, and it will be worth it. I'm missing 6 cards, and these cards are the cards that I had to elect to avoid because they're just part of the deck that I don't necessarily need at the moment, but eventually I'll grind up, get the points I need through winning duels to actually get these cards. The cards I cut were 1 copy of Forbidden Droplet. Really good card, I could live with that one, really. And then I dropped Dark Ruler, Zeus, Link Prevo, IP Masquerena, and Nightmare Unicorn. So that leaves me out of like 1 play during my opponent's turn, but this is still a very strong and very functional deck, and I'm gonna have to throw some substitutes in there to make up for losing these. So I kind of just threw whatever out of what I had left over from all the pulls. I threw in a Borlo Dragon, I threw in some random Link monster I threw in like an Ancient Sacred Wyvern or something, some other random Synchro that's there, and a Colossal Fighter, because, you know, I needed something to fill up the extra deck, and maybe I'll build those cards. Probably not. It doesn't hurt to have them there. And then I also threw in an Imperial Order to fill in the last slot in the main deck. So if you're waiting for the cards that I said I would replace in this deck, hey, congratulations, you made it this far. Time to talk about it. I do like the idea of Imperial Order in this deck, but as a one of, I don't really get it too often, and this deck isn't really about draw power, it's about search power, so it's nice to have it now. I pulled it, I got lucky, you know. But no, I want to keep it there. That second copy of Droplet is just fine. Alternatively, I would drop Cyber Angel Natasha for like a Nibiru or something. 1 copy of Nibiru is fine, maybe 2. And if I were to add like another Nibiru, I would probably, I'd probably cut a copy of Delta. As for extra deck monsters, this is up to you if you're actually able to pull it. You can get access code Talker instead of Borlo Sword Dragon. I just like Borlo Sword Dragon for this deck a little bit more because I feel like I get more out of it by using this card instead of access code Talker. Solemn Judgment, Raigeki, Monster Reborn, you know, those cards are also really good too, so if you need something like some filler in the meantime, you can go ahead and put those in there. Just staples in general. Maybe throw in a Maxi, maybe not. I actually like just having Ash Blossom, and because I have Herald Perfection, I can stop a lot of stuff, so it's not necessary to have all the hand traps. So that's why I would be content with just having Ash Blossom and Nibiru. And up next, I'm just going to show you the deck in action, the very first duel I did right after building this. Let's get into it. So the thing I really like about this replay is not only is it our first time actually playing the deck, this isn't even a good hand. It's not a terrible hand, mind you, but it's not what we would want in a starting hand. And I wouldn't say Drytron is prone to this, but I will say it happens more often than not, and you're just gonna have to learn to play around it. But that's okay. The first turn of a Drytron deck is never the best turn. It's always the second turn when the deck actually pops off, and I'm gonna show you why. So I'm gonna activate Drytron Nova just so I can get Alpha out. I need Alpha, he's one of our key cards. And then I'm gonna bring out Gamma by ditching Alpha and bring him out there. But I'm gonna bring Gamma right back and then immediately Xyz summon Mu Beta Fafnir because I want to drop another Drytron monster into the graveyard. I believe it was Zeta. Yes, we're gonna use Zeta. We're gonna pitch our Cyber Angel to bring out Zeta. And because Zeta is brought out, we can look for our ritual spell. The only ritual spell we're playing, Meteonis Drytron. And we're gonna use it to bring out our Meteonis Draconis. And we can do that by pitching the materials attached to our Mu Beta. There he is. The big boy. Lastly, I'm going to end the turn by activating Meteoris Drytronis' effect. By taking away about 1,000 attack points from Mu Beta, I could return it back to my hand. And then I'm going to pitch Mu Beta to bring out Alpha and search for Ben 10. Ben 10 is one of the most important cards in the deck because we're constantly tributing cards. And when Ben 10 is tributed, be it from the hand, field, whatever, you get to search for another card. And that's great because we're going to keep adding Ben 10 so we can keep having cards to pay this tribute cost. Now I'm going to overlay for another Mu Beta Fafnir just because I want that body on there and to potentially protect my Draconis in case I ever need to. Doubtful though. And my opponent's just going to set to and pass. The poor boy doesn't know what's going to hit him. So I top deck an Alpha, and this is great. This is actually one of the hands you would love to start with. Since I have it on my second turn, we're just gonna blow up the field. The two most combo heavy cards, in my opinion, would be to start out with an Alpha and a Ben 10, and here's why. We're gonna use Alpha's effect to tribute the Ben 10 and special summon itself, and add ourselves another Ben 10 with Alpha's effect, because when it's special summoned this way, you get to search for a ritual monster. And now that I've tributed Cyber Angel Ben 10, I get to look for another monster. I believe it was a fairy, and I'm going to add Herald of the Diviner. My bad, Diviner of the Herald. And normal summon it. Use its effect to pitch Herald of the Arclight, which when it's sent to the graveyard, you can look for a ritual monster or a ritual spell. I'm looking for another Ben 10 because I want as many Ben 10s out of my deck. Now we're going to go ahead and ritual summon our Ben 10, the one from the graveyard, because the more fairies I have in my hand, the more negates I get for Herald of Perfection. Now we're going to pitch our Alpha and bring out Ben 10, and because Herald of the Diviner, or Diviner of Herald, did pitch Herald of Arclight, it did gain its level. So now these are both level 6, and we're going to overlay for Beatrice. The whole point of Beatrice, if you're getting her turn 1, it's to dump, I believe it was Gamma. That was the Drytron that special summoned itself, and then it was able to special summon another Drytron with it. But because I had already sent him to the graveyard and set that up, I can actually use her for what she's really used for, and it's to send Ava to the graveyard. What's Ava? That's Ava. When Ava's sent to the graveyard, you can banish 2 fairy type monsters and then add 2 to your hand. So we're going to banish out the Arclight and whatever fairy, whatever. We're going to add Herald of the Orange Light and another Diviner of the Herald. In case I somehow don't win this turn and I need another play, it doesn't matter. We're usually going to be adding Herald of the Arclight or that. Anyway, we're going to activate the effect of Meteoris Draconis. Meteoris Drytron to add it back to my hand by lowering the attack on Mu Beta. And then we're just going to bring out the Drytron, what is this, Gamma, to bring out another card, and then we're going to add to our hand's Herald Perfection because we tributed the Ben 10. As you can see, our hand is really fucking stacked for this play. Before I Xyz summon into Borrelsword Dragon, I do want to get the most bang for my buck out of that Mu Beta Fafnir, so we're going to add Meet Orange Drytron again. We're gonna pitch one of Falcon's materials, and we're gonna summon ourselves a Herald of Perfection in attack mode because we need as much damage as we possibly can. And then we're gonna send all 4 of these monsters to the graveyard to link summon our Boral Sword Dragon, which is a beast of a card. We can now go for game. Boral Sword will attack this defense position monster. It's a debris dragon, whatever. Herald attacks, damage. Activate Boral Sword Dragon's effect, and what his effect is you switch an attack position monster to defense mode so Boral Sword can attack again. So that is easily over 10k damage on the board, really, just from his effect. But my opponent is going to try to intercept that with this spell card that I guess stops attacks by sending blows to the graveyard. However, what he doesn't know is Herald Perfection can negate pretty much anything, and I have 3 chances to negate in my hand, so tough shit, kid. And from right there, my opponent is actually going to realize, oh damn, I'm fucked, and give up the duel. And there you have it, a demonstration on how to play Drytron and how fucking crazy they can be. If you still feel like you're lost, I will link some videos in the description with some combos. And again, I'll still refer you to that Reddit post that explained every card through a Rick and Morty meme. It actually helped me learn the deck in less than a minute. Thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider dropping a like because it really helps out the channel. If you feel like I have earned your subscription, go ahead and sub to the channel for more Yu-Gi-Oh content. Let me know what you want me to do in the future by commenting down in the comment section below. Bye-bye.